it's exceedingly rare that you'll find a diet that actually works. Most people will, do the typical New Year's resolution of going on a diet, and then by the end of the January month, they've failed. And there's a couple of reasons why. The first one is that most diets just won't work. The juice fasts or anything that sort of just gets rid of a whole bunch of necessary foods for a prolonged period of time, they just won't work. And the reason they won't work is because they're not designed to last for a long time. It's inconceivable for you just to be able to exist on juice alone, or by getting rid of all carbs instantly, or by any other dramatic method. For one, your body just doesn't work like that, and two, it goes completely against what you're currently used to. We're creatures of habit, so if you've been eating a certain way for years and years, and then all of a sudden, bang, you stop, your body's going to scream at you and say, hey, quickly, 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 feed me, we're starving, we're starving. And eventually you're going to break. What happens a lot of the time is your body's sending these signals and you nut them out and you're fine, but it's getting on you, and then all of a sudden you binge, and you binge hard. You eat and eat and eat. And then what usually happens after that is that you've lost the willpower to get back on the diet, because the diet's so hard, so restrictive, and so painful that you just can't manage it. And how could you? It's impossible to maintain those high caloric restrictions. A lot of people see really quick results on their diet, so they'll do a crash diet and their weight will drop, and they're like, oh my god, the diet works. But unfortunately, when they break, and they inevitably will break, they end up putting on more weight back on, because what you're effectively doing is telling your body that you're starving. So your body wants to keep you alive. So it realizes that, oh my god, I'm going through a starvation period. That means that in my environment, it doesn't know that you're living in, with complete access to food. It has no idea. It just wants to keep you alive. So that it goes, okay, there's a risk that I'm going to starve. So when I do have food, I'm going to pack that on, because if I don't, I'm done. So you'll find that you'll lose the weight and then you'll pile it back on, because your body's trying to keep you alive. So these crash diets just simply don't work. As humans, we need to have a combination of proteins, carbs, and fats just to live. Now, there is some debate as to how much and what sorts, but in general, you need to make sure that you're getting a bit of all of them. You really should actually be trying to aim for a higher protein, higher fat diet if you want to lose weight. And this sounds contradictory, but if you think of it this way, your body evolved to survive as long as possible. So if you cut the fat from your diet, you have low fat milk and you just don't eat fat, what your body thinks is happening is that you're in a environment that has no access to fat. So what does your body do? Well, it grabs all of the fat that you're currently having and stores it and shoves it onto itself, because it goes, well, I'm not getting any from my environment, so obviously I need to do this for self-protection. Whereas if you up the fats, if you have good fats, for example, from meats, from avocado, from eggs, those sort of things, and you're having it all the time, what you're doing is telling your body's thinking it is in the environment that has a high fat content. What that means is that it doesn't need to store it on itself, because it's not worried about going without fat. So conversely, if you want to lose weight, you should actually eat more fat, because it's just simply better for you. Does that make sense? If you cut the fat, you're telling your body, no, there's no fat in the environment, I need to store it. So there's that whole debate between sugar and fat. Sugar is terrible for you. Let me tell you why. So once again, it goes completely against nature. If you think about what we evolved to eat, having masses and masses of sugar is just not natural. Why is that bad? Well, every time you eat sugar, your blood sugar levels spike and drop, and that means your moods will spike and drop. In addition, it comes into your body and needs to get used so quickly that basically you just can't. If you eat something high in sugar, it stores and sits itself and will store it in your body as fat, because you don't have the ability to process that energy through your body and use it or expend it quick enough. This leads to fatty deposits building up around you. They say that guys have that apple shape, so we hold it on our bellies, and girls sort of hold it a bit lower, the pear shape. We're eating too much sugar. It sticks to your organs. It's just terrible for you. What I've noticed since I've started cutting sugar, I'm not having desserts, I'm not adding sugar or anything like that. on top of all of the physical benefits of just, slimming up and feeling good and the mental highs and lows not being there, I'm noticing that I just feel sharper. It feels almost like I'm thinking at a quicker pace somehow. I know it doesn't really make sense, but the lack of high and lows has made me just sort of mentally level out, but in a really good way. It's like my functioning has just gone up. I didn't know this was a thing, and now I've actually started to look into what cutting sugar actually does, and it's just a commonly reported benefit that when you cut sugar, you think clearer. I wouldn't have believed it, but now having done it, I can see the benefits. Once again, back to what I was talking about before though, if you like this idea and you're like, yeah, I'm going to cut sugar, don't just do it instantly, because I guarantee you'll fail. You'll do it for a while, and then you'll binge and you'll break, and you won't want to go back. The better approach is to slowly cut down. So the first thing you should get rid of is soft drinks and fruit juices. After that, get rid of your treats, or at least just start reducing them, because quitting cold turkey can be done, but it's not as easy as that slow habitual reduction. Cut it down, and you'll slim up, your moods won't spike and drop, and you'll start functioning. Your mental state will just get all that clearer.